This video is brought to you by my latest book, How to Play Melodic Rock Lead Guitar, a comprehensive guide to doing exactly that, playing melodic rock lead guitar. This is not just some collection of scale patterns and tabs, although you do get plenty of those, but you also get an entire chapter on how to come up with your own licks, as well as video content, tutorials and demonstrations, loads of jam tracks, and all the way through I'm encouraging you to expand your fretboard knowledge and showing you how you can think in a more musical and melodic way. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. That little solo there was me trying to illustrate the thing I want to talk about today. Melody, essentially. Musical tastes are as individual as the people that have them. But my musical tastes, certainly when it comes to electric lead guitar parts, and I think this is largely due to the fact that my earliest memory of hearing an electric guitar was when I heard Hank Marvin and the Shadows when I was a toddler. But my musical tastes could be probably best summed up like this. I tend to think of a guitar solo as this. Okay, there's the melody. That's the steak on your plate. And all of the kind of twiddly, flashy stuff, that's the accompaniment. That's the side salad. It's nice to have, if you so wish, and if you've got the chops to do it. But it's not the main event. If I'm served up just a bowl full of that, when I'm expecting that, then, that's not really going to cut the mustard for me. So what this video is largely about is how I come up with, a solo that is hopefully melodic. Sometimes I achieve it, sometimes it takes more than one take, but that solo that you just heard there was yesterday's warm-up jam, and that was just a single take, and I was quite pleased with it, and I thought, yes, that'll do for tomorrow's video, i.e. today. Anyway, here's a little bit of an insight into how how the cogs are turning inside my head as I'm thinking about playing a solo that has a degree of melodic quality to it.
Here is the explanation.
Right, so the basic principle, I think, in terms of making something sound melodic and catchy, or what's another word for catchy? Memorable, is to have a simple idea that you can plant in the listener's mind, and an easy to remember motif or hook or whatever you want to call it. And the one that I used in that solo that we heard earlier goes like this. And once you've got that basic idea, you can move it around. The backing track I was playing over earlier is sort of in an E mixolydian kind of thing, so I was using mainly E major pentatonic and throwing in some chord notes where appropriate. But once you've got that basic idea, you can move it around. Like that. Just take that same basic rhythmic idea and play it elsewhere in the scale, there it is there. You can hear it's the same rhythmic idea. What you've got to be listening out for, though, is when that idea starts to wear out its welcome and, it needs maybe a little bit of extending or just tweaking in some way. So, I think one thing I did in that solo earlier was I went like that. You can hear that's basically the same idea. But, let's just repeat that a little bit. Like that. So it's still got that same kind of feel to it, that sort of thing there. But just end it differently. Maybe something like this. And then back to where you started again. But maybe, just with different notes. The notes that you're using, as long as you're staying broadly within, within the key that you're in, whatever pentatonic or mode it is that is appropriate for the chord sequence you're playing over. As long as you're staying basically within that, the notes are not that important. Resolve to a chord note if you can when it's needed, or just use your ears. If you land on and that note there just doesn't kind of sit in a settled way over the chord that you're playing, well, we've got this option, as I've said, to extend the phrase a little bit as a way of varying it and keeping it interesting. So you could turn into something like that, because a little tip that you can always use if you're playing pentatonically is there's a better than evens chance, there's a very good chance, in fact, without delving into the theory behind all of this and chord tones and everything, that if you land on a note in your pentatonic and try and resolve there and it doesn't kind of sit in a nice settled way over the backing track, just move either down or up to the next pentatonic note, and that will usually, not always, but usually that will allow you to resolve in a more satisfying manner. It'll make it sound a bit better, basically. So having this this idea of just having this basic melodic unit like that is where I tend to start when I'm playing a solo. One way you can do this, one way you can generate that idea, and I do this as an exercise with my students quite a lot, is let's just take an obvious pentatonic shape like that, and somewhere in the middle, let's say here, play, let's say 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what you've got there is just a 5-note run up a scale. And then pick a note somewhere between 1 and 5. Probably best to pick 2, 3, or 4. So let's pick note 3. Okay. So what I'm going to do is lengthen note 3. So instead of, I'm going to go, then leave a pause after that, because you need to leave a pause because that's your basic little melodic idea that you want to allow it to kind of stand there in, on its own, so people can kind of get it into the head. Right, so now we've now got this little hook. Play it backwards. Brilliant little question and answer, call and response thing going on right there. Then just take that idea, da 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 is what we start. And all based off that kind of 5-note run, lengthen note 3, and then you've got like a melodic little rhythm thing, a motif or a hook, and you can then play around with that and just populate that rhythm with different sets of notes from whatever scale you're using. Listen to it listen to how the licks are landing over the backing track, and if you need to extend it or, kind of shorten it or add a note at the beginning or something, just allow yourself the freedom to react to the lick as it's landing over the backing track or the accompaniment that you're playing to, and you will produce, I'll guarantee, a melodic, tuneful sounding solo. What also helps is if you have some idea of, the rhythmic environment that you're in, because we're talking about rhythms here. So I've been doing a series of videos on a Wednesday. There's another one coming up this Wednesday, about, kind of getting a little bit more familiar with rhythms, being able to, do something predictably and knowing where you are in relation to the beats of the bar and all that sort of stuff, rather than just relying on happenstance to kind of land in the right place. But that's a tale for another day, probably on Wednesday. So there you go. Just have a basic, simple idea that you can repeat and adapt throughout the various positions of the neck that you're going to be playing in over whatever your backing track is. That's how I tend to think about it. It works for me. It'll work for you as well. So now you know what to do. Go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you'll find a full tab for the solo that we heard earlier, along in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, as always, along with a clip of me playing it, that explanation you've just seen there, and an extended version of the jam track I was using. That was all up on my Patreon page. There's the address. Link in the description, as I'm sure you know by now if you're a seasoned viewer. It's $3 or roughly £3 a month to get all of the tabs and jam tracks and tuition content that go along with these YouTube videos. And there's a second tier of Patreon membership as well, where you get all of that stuff, as well as a twice monthly Zoom hangout with me and the other tier 2 chaps. You get a weekly blog post as well, and a weekly reaction video. So thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon, either both tiers and all of the other ways, all of which are downstairs in the description. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this video, found it useful, maybe even entertaining in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget, of course, the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and chat about stuff. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, I think. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.